Hi, my name's Chris. I'm an expert by experience. That is to say, I'm a service user in the North Somerset area, still in services, and I use my lived experience of my mental health to support improvement and development. For the last few years, I have been a service user involvee, participating in numerous workshops, interview panels, and other pieces of work. In September last year, I joined the new Strategic Expert by Experience group, which is responsible for areas of oversight and challenging the trust in how it ensures that co-produced person-centred care is at the heart of delivery, as well as how co-production is embedded and assessed throughout the culture and work practices of the trust. As you may tell, I take a rather laissez-faire approach to presenting. The Strategic Expert by Experience group, the SEG, is an expert by experience service user team who are passionate about using co-production methods to work with the trust and its services to actively influence strategic direction of the trust, support a culture which is patient-centred, support the trust to provide meaningful co-production and involvement opportunities for service users, their carers and the public, commission co-production and quality improvement projects, and to work collaboratively with the trust staff to identify problems and apply creative and innovative thinking in developing solutions. We're new, we're still learning, just like everybody else. So this year for Co-Production Week, the focus is on co-production in a changing world. So I'm going to share with you the story of one piece of work that we did in co-production. Back in February, Julie Kerry, Director of Nursing, asked SEG members for anyone interested in meeting with medical education. My colleagues, Will and Carolyn, and I put our names forward. I was particularly interested as, amongst a variety of other jobs I've held, I used to work in medical education in an acute hospital trust some years ago, so I appreciate the effort involved in their work. In March, Julie, Will, myself, and Sian Rees from the Oxford Academic Health Network went to Kingswood to meet medical education. We provided a brief overview of co-production and involvement from a trust and expert by experience perspective. Medical education said they would like to get stuff for new doctors and get back to us. But as you are aware, between March and June, COVID-19 hit, and SEG's work, along with a lot of other people's, went on pause. Mostly. Somewhere in the middle of June, though, while still technically on pause, medical education contacted us to let us know that this year's foundation doctor induction was going to have to be through virtual means due to social distancing and other COVID protections. They asked us if we wanted to be part of this virtual induction and create an e-learning module based on what we had shared at our March meeting. We respectably agreed. We took the feedback from March on what would help foundation doctors, got some quality checking from staff, used collaborative tools to share work in development with fellow SEG members, and requested final approval to the trust when written. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we had 2 weeks to do this in, give or take approval time. And so, at the start of July, the pilot version is now ready for inclusion for August Foundation Doctor Induction. So what were we trying to achieve in this project? Well, we started off with just a pitch. Make an e-learning module that gives foundation doctors an overview of co-production in the trust. Turn that into a plan. Develop an e-learning module to support new foundation doctors in understanding the trust's approach to including involvement and co-production in projects, research and regular activities, so that by the end of the training they can understand what is meant by experts by experience, identify different levels of co-production, identify the benefits of experts by experience in involvement and co-production, understand the trust's commitment to involvement and co-production, understand the role of the SEG in promoting a culture of co-production within the trust, have an understanding of involvement activities, have an understanding of co-production, and consider some of the working challenges that co-production may raise. And try to get all this in less than 49 slides. So when we came to deliver it, with feedback from medical education and support from other experts by experience and trust colleagues, we managed to put together an e-learning module covering the required content and with exercise to help with thinking about challenges, with audio throughout, ready for August induction. Now we have to wait and see if it's actually effective. It has been a great starting point with good experience of limited co-production, but there are areas where we could have gone further in getting teams involved and demonstrating better co-production. To be better co-produced, we could have gotten more contributions from staff colleagues. To secure turnaround time, we went to individuals, but with more time, groups would be better. To be better co-produced, the audience should be involved. The same way when developing services, you should have service users involved. Due to COVID, it would have been difficult to review this with final year medical students and foundation doctors who were leaving their first year. To be better co-produced, we could have got more insight from the executive team on the Trust's commitment to co-production and involvement of service users and carers. There are so many ways we could develop this further, and we are learning every day how to integrate co-production better. The medical education pilot version will be tested, and then from what we learn from that audience, we hope to create a new version with more staff input. We've had interest in making this e-learning generally available as a primer for all staff interested in co-production involvement, which we would welcome. We've also taken feedback on how we might be able to offer more specific modules to promote co-production, looking at different modules for different roles and opportunities to focus on areas of interest. Learning and development is a cornerstone developing a culture of co-production. You can't tell people that they must co-produce and expect results, but you can share knowledge and experience to provide the tools to help people discover the benefits of co-production themselves. I hope this has been informative for you, but most of all, I hope it's been interesting. Information is one thing, but generating just a spark of interest is something different entirely. I and all my SEG colleagues take great pride in being able to support the Trust as it develops more co-produced and person-centred practices, and it's always moving when we see staff engaging with us and working with the same goal. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to read and listen to this story of what is basically just someone doing their job, same as all of you, and I hope that wherever you are working, our paths will cross and we can make something amazing as a result. Best wishes to you all.